Day 25. 1. Serving a meal for a father who has died. The archangel Raphael was sent to accompany young Tobias, advising him to perform works of charity and to care for the dead. Regarding this matter, we read a very interesting story in the Chronicles of the Barefoot Augustinian Friars. When the Order of the Holy Mother was being established in Anersa, Father Hilarion, a holy and virtuous religious, was in charge of overseeing the construction. He stayed in a charitable hospice where he celebrated Mass every morning. One day, a devout layman named John the Baptist, who was also a member of the construction committee of the monastery, assisted at Mass and received communion for the holy souls in Purgatory. Father Hilarion invited him to share a simple meal. When he entered the hospice courtyard, he saw a very handsome and elegantly dressed young man standing there. The young man asked to speak with Father Hilarion about an important matter. The priest came out, and the young man begged him, for the love of God, to give him a little of his food. Hearing this, the religious was surprised since, given the young man's noble appearance, it should have been the young man offering alms, not receiving them. Thinking so, yet Father still went to fetch his own portion of food. He picked up the best sweet loaf he had, then put it down, thinking he should choose an ordinary loaf instead. But his conscience spoke within him. Why not give him the best one? Whatever is given to the poor is given to God. Who knows? This young man in such splendid attire, entering through a closed gate, might be an angel of the Lord. So the priest took the finest bread, along with the most delicious foods, and brought them to the young man, offering them with humble apologies. Afterward, Father Hilarion and John the Baptist ate their modest meal, puzzled as to how such a noble young man had managed to enter the locked courtyard. The priest exclaimed, "That astonishingly handsome young man must have been an angel come down from heaven." John the Baptist added, "Perhaps he was a soul from purgatory." When the guests finished eating, John the Baptist went out to bid the young man farewell and share his thoughts. Seeing him, the young man stood and said, "My friend, we must thank God. Let us recite together one Lord's Prayer and one Hail Mary for the holy souls." He then knelt, joined his hands, lifted his eyes toward heaven, and prayed with the devotion of an angel. After the prayer, he shook John's hand and said, "Tell Father Hilarion, I am his father. He need not pray for me anymore. I am going to heaven this very moment." Then he vanished like a mist in the morning light. Astonished and deeply moved, the two holy men knelt to thank God for this consoling miracle. The soul of Father Hilarion's parent had appeared, bearing the serene beauty of one chosen by God. The priest respectfully preserved the plate used by the deceased soul. Later, when the son of a benefactor of the monastery was deathly ill, he recovered immediately after eating a small portion from that very plate. Thus it may be that God, out of mercy, had swiftly liberated the soul of Father Hilarion's father from purgatory, and so we resolve to do all we can to help the holy souls. 2. We often forget our own family members. Father John the Franciscan of Mani recounts two stories. 1a. Blessed Elizabeth, Princess of Andrew, King of Hungary, was fervently devoted to the holy souls. She personally prepared shrouds for the poor, paid their funeral expenses, brought their bodies to burial, and prayed for them earnestly. When her mother Gertrude died, she prayed, fasted, and gave abundant alms, especially requesting masses for her mother's soul. One night, her mother appeared, her voice trembling. The princess knelt and pleaded, "My child, I kneel at your feet, my face full of sorrow. I am writhing in terrible torments. In the name of maternal love, I beg you, do all you can to free me from the horrible punishments into which I have fallen." Elizabeth, moved and terrified, prayed fervently, wept, and disciplined herself before the presence of Christ. The Lord did not allow fatigue or sleep to interrupt her holy efforts on behalf of her mother. A while later, her mother appeared again, but transformed, her garments radiant and shining with joy. She thanked her daughter because heaven had been opened to her. Then she disappeared. 2a. Another blessed Elizabeth, Queen of Portugal, helped deliver her daughter, the Princess Consort of Castile, from the fires of purgatory. The young queen had died unexpectedly, still youthful and beautiful, leaving her family in mourning. While Queen Elizabeth was traveling near the city of Santarem, in the forest she was approached by a hermit who rushed to her carriage and begged to speak a few words with her. The guards chased him away, but the queen, perceiving something supernatural, commanded them to bring him forward. The hermit explained that he had prayed many times in his cave when the princess consort had appeared and pleaded with him to tell her mother she was suffering unbearably in purgatory and needed a year's worth of masses to be freed. The hermit withdrew and was never seen again. The queen's attendants dismissed him as a madman or deceiver, but Saint Elizabeth turned to the king and asked his opinion. The king replied, "I believe the wisest thing is to do exactly what the stranger said. In any case, requesting masses for our daughter is fitting both spiritually and humanly." A holy priest, Father Ferdinand Mendez, was entrusted with offering these masses. 1 year later, the princess consort appeared to her mother. She was dressed in dazzling white and said, "Mother, I am now delivered from the torments of purgatory and am entering eternal happiness." Hearing this, Saint Elizabeth overflowed with joy, though she had forgotten that she had asked for 365 masses for her daughter. She went to church to thank God for his mercy. There she met Father Mendez, who told her he had completed all 365 masses the very day her daughter appeared and ascended to heaven. The saint then remembered the hermit's words. To thank God, she offered many solemn masses and distributed abundant alms to the poor for the relief of the holy souls. Prayer. O Lord, these 3 stories teach us a great lesson. We often forget our own relatives and let them suffer unceasingly in purgatory. Forgive us for this grave neglect and lack of filial love. We resolve to remember our mothers, siblings, and departed loved ones, and to assist them through frequent and sincere works of charity and devotion.